I know where there's some, right here in the hall clerk.
No, Molly, not in there. I have enough.
Okay, have the turntable out in the garage, and the reason is that it's filthy, filthy, filthy. This is just ancient old grease that's hardened on here. You hardly want to touch it. And so what I decided I wanted to do was clean this without taking it all apart as best I can. So I'm going to do something rather rash, anyway, I suppose. What I have here is a tub of warm water, into which I'm going to pour a dilute mixture of simple green, which is a pretty good degreaser. I need to get some more, I guess. And the thing is that I have all of the electronics off here except the solenoid. And solenoids are very simple and not at all sealed. So what I'm going to do is one-handed set this right down into the soapy water and let this soak. Let that soak. Isn't that remarkable? An electronic thing being soaked in water. Well, I want it to soak all that nasty grease off there. It's just hardened into varnish in some cases. There may be, I'm going to have to do some more research and see if there's a cleaner that will really clean that stuff up. But I'm going to let this soak in here for a few hours, a day maybe, and then turn it over and scrub it good. And then air dry it. I can put it in a low heat oven for, several hours and it'll be fine, I think. The only chance of damage would be to that plastic or bakelite structure there, but not, if it's bakelite, it'll be fine. Or just use a hairdryer. Either way, I can dry it out, but I'll scrub it on the bottom once it's soaked for a while, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, let's see how our soap bath did. It's been in here for hours and hours. And it didn't do anything. This sticky, this is just worse. It made it gummier somehow. Yeah, didn't help at all. That's remarkable. All right, plan 2, I guess, is to dry this out and get some alcohol in this tub, and not that much, but see if the rubbing alcohol in a stiff brush will do it. Well, here's the story. Soapy water didn't work. Alcohol doesn't work. What works is WD-40. It's probably this stuff, I think, has mineral spirits in it, and that's probably what's cutting it. But it really makes a huge difference. This is gummy and nasty here. It's nice and clean there and there. So the cleaning solvent of choice is WD-40. I'm going to get some mineral spirits and give it a try. Guess I'm not. I don't have any paint thinner right now. Some lacquer thinner, and I would wager quite a bit of money that this will work too, because it will certainly remove the finish on there, so we'd have to be very careful with it. I think WD-40 is less risky in that regard. Yeah, so same thing. Lacquer thinner would certainly work. I'll try it with the WD-40 because I'll get the added benefit of leaving a nice coating on everything. Actually, feels better where I use the WD-40. Anyway, I'll use this. I'll probably have to get a bigger can and clean everything up. And when I'm done, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, the automatic turntable has been cleaned and all of its moving parts lubricated, the engine checked out, replaced some wires, plastic wires in here that were falling apart, and the connector that goes back to the radio itself. But what the documentation I had for this was this writer's document for a model S11468. And it's so close, it's so very close to this mechanism. But there are a couple of differences between the documentation that I have and this machine itself. And one is right here. The instructions, this is the adjustment right here. It's a pinch nut with a screw and a spring in between, and this is where you adjust the landing zone for the tone arm, where the tone arm comes down on the edge of the platter itself. That's different than it describes in the documentation. And what it's doing is adjusting the position of this little finger right here. This pawl reaches over, well, first of all, when it's all the way this way, that's the landing zone. And then as the record plays, this goes in and in and in until it reaches toward the center of the record, and that pawl engages this lever right here. And when that gets engaged, that in essence grounds the solenoid that's in here and causes the record changer to change its record. Some old 78s don't have that inner spiral, so this also has a tiny set screw right here that allows you to, and they say it doesn't work every time, but I don't have enough records to try it out on. But this tiny screw right here sets a manual trip of this lever, as you can see right there. So the turntable comes in. If this action on the eccentric inner ring doesn't trip that switch, then this little set screw right here does and forces it open. So that's the pickup zone. So this screw adjusts the landing zone, and this screw adjusts the pickup zone for the turntable. And you adjust it on a 12-inch turntable, but again, this roller right here makes up the difference. That gives you the extra inch in that it needs on 10-inch records. And that's it. The next challenge, which will be an entirely different video, is this guy right here. I'm looking forward to this one, the cartridge. So, that's it for the turntable. See you next time.
Johnson's Wax.